Welcome everyone to our first debate prep video. In this series, we will be looking at different debate topics and plan some arguments as well as strategies for the pro and con side. If you enjoy this series, please click the thumbs up to support the channel and comment below some resolutions or topics you would like to see. Also, remember to subscribe and check out our other debate videos to help you become a better debater. This video's resolution is South Korea should limit the number of academies for middle school students. We will be focusing on the pro side of this topic first, and then move over to the con side. I think the first thing, though, we need to do is define some of the key words. The most important words are limit and academies. Limit means that there should be some academies allowed, but how many should the limit be? As the pro team, you should define the word based on your arguments and how many academies your evidence suggests is the right amount. Another way to interpret the word limit could be by not having academies on the weekends. The word academy is also important to define. What is an academy? In Korea, there are study rooms or kongbubang's. There are larger businesses, such as gyosupsos. Then the big academies are language, math, and science academies. Limiting the number of academies depends on which academies you want to limit. After you define the keywords, let's plan some arguments. The important thing to remember is to see what the resolution is asking. Are we making a policy or plan? Are we supporting some value? Do we need to just agree with the resolution? In this case, we need to just argue that we should limit the number of academies. One strategy could be to make two arguments showing how limiting the number of academies is good for someone or something. An example could be for the student's mental health and family income. Another strategy could be to consider the outcome if we do limit the number of academies. If we limit the number of academies, what are two benefits that can happen? Maybe public schools will get better with less pressure from the private education sector. Maybe Koreans will go on more vacations with their family when there aren't academies on the weekends. The last bit of advice is that you have to find the right evidence. You may not find evidence that says that an exact limit will fix all of the education problems. But if you can find articles that show how a limit could be good, or even if students went to fewer academies, they could still have a good education, then your side will have a much stronger case in this debate. Now let's move on to the con strategy. The con team just needs to prove that South Korea should not limit the number of academies. Maybe because it won't fix any problems, or that it won't create a much better situation than what currently exists. As the con team, there are two main types of arguments you can make. Ones that are against the resolution, and ones that are against the opponent. Arguments against the resolution would say how limiting the number of academies doesn't change anything. You could argue that students will still go to academies, and a limited number of academies doesn't limit the time dedicated to attending academies. Another possible argument could be about oversight, or the power to actually enforce if a student is only going to a certain number of academies. Arguments against the opponent are called preemptive arguments, or arguments you plan to use as a refutation. If you need help with refutations, there's a card at the top with a link to my refutation video. Basically, you're going to claim that whatever the pro team argues is wrong. So, let's see what we said earlier. Limiting the number of academies is good for students and families' income. Our con team arguments could be how students' health or well-being won't be improved due to attending academies for longer hours. Or we could argue something such as parents will still spend money on their children's education in other ways, perhaps through private tutoring or other forms of education that is outside of an academy. There are many ways to preempt arguments. My rule of thumb is that the more prepared the con team is for the debate, the better chance they have of winning. Okay, well, there you have it. We have talked about both the pro side and con side arguments. Now it's your turn to get to researching and find the key evidence for your side in this debate. If you find good links, share them below in the comment section, and let's help each other get better at debating. That's it for now, but until next time, I hope you all have an amazing day. Bye bye.